So there's been a lot of videos about Amanda Seals and Club Shay Shay, and I apologize for being late on this. But I have a different tact on this. So I remember when the episode first dropped, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Amanda's on Shannon with Shannon." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." But I was reading the comments in the live in the live chat, and her fans were like, "Oh, Shannon can't interview. She should never go on this show again. She's smarter than Shannon." And I was like, "Okay." So the interview actually, I think the interview actually went well. Like it was a challenging interview for the both of them because I think to be honest, that interview was probably best for the both of them. I think Amanda needed to be pushed by somebody, and I'll explain that later. And I also think for Shannon, I think it was good for him because he needed to talk to someone that was a little bit more challenging. Because the great thing that Shannon does, and there's an argument I have against Drink Champs, is that Nori still doesn't know how to interview people. He still he just kind of jumps in. He talks too much. He doesn't let them talk. He interrupts them. Where Shannon, he basically asks a question, and he lets them talk. Now he might jump in here and there, but for the most part, in a 3 hour interview, which they're mostly 3 hours, most of the time, 75% of the time, 70% of the time, the guest is talking. It's not Shannon. So he let her talk. So from Shannon's point of view, I think the interviews he's had has always been fun, has always been interesting, but he needed someone else a little bit challenging. That he, because there's times that he would ask her a question and she would give him a face, but he's like, okay, I'll fall back and let her answer this. Like, I think, because he has to continue. Listen, Shannon is not Oprah Winfrey. He's not 1995 Oprah. He's not even 2024 Oprah. Because to me, Oprah, when it comes to interviewers, is one of the best interviewers ever. It's like Oprah and Barbara Walters, like Mike Wallace, Charlie Rose, Brian Gumbel. Like there's people who are just really good in asking questions, and Oprah is at the top of that list. She is fantastic. Well, Shannon's not Oprah, but because he has his platform, because of the success of the Cat Williams episode, he has to start becoming a stronger interviewer. And I think him interviewing Amanda, who can be a little bit challenging at times, is good for him. So I guess I was a little bit shocked that 24 hours after the interview, Amanda was saying she was ripping Shannon, she was ripping Club Shay Shay, she was saying she was ripping the producers, she was saying like the Club Shay Shay wasn't a safe place for her, even though in the interview Shannon said to her, "I was looking at your resume and you're just really," I say, "Do you know how talented you are?" Like he complimented her quite a bit in that interview. And if you look at her resume, Amanda Seals is really talented. There's a lot of chicks running around, including in Black Hollywood, who says, "Oh my God, they're so talented." It's like, are they really? Like Amanda Seals, I forgot that she was in Floetry. She replaced Natalie in Floetry. I forgot as Amanda Diva, she made a song with Q-Tip. Even on Insecure, her Tiffany character was fantastic. It was like an updated Whitley Gilbert from a different world, just from a Real Housewives bougie type of way. And I always felt like that character deserved more airtime, and that's on Issa and her writing staff. But again, if you're going by Insecure, because I was a fan of Insecure, if you're going by the show was really about Issa's relationship with Molly, her best friend, and Lawrence, her on again, off again boyfriend. And the first 2 seasons were fantastic. Third season kind of went down because Lawrence went off to film Top Gun. But when he came back, you had the whole Condola storyline with him and the baby and all that stuff. It was great. But I always felt like Amanda, her comedic timing was great. She was always really funny. She had really good quips, and most likely she probably ad-libbed a lot of that stuff. So Amanda Seals is really talented, but for a lot of people, she gets in her own way. But she did say something. There was a part in the interview, especially the part where she was talking about she wasn't going to defend Issa Rae anymore. There's a part in there where she talked about she has self-esteem issues. She has self-esteem issues, inferiority complex issues, and I can be defensive at times. Me personally, I have dealt with self-esteem issues my whole life. Um, I was teased as a kid, and people don't. Kids are mean and cruel. There's certain type of kids, right? There's kids who are always super confident. You just know those kids. There was always leaders. There was always confident. There was those kids. And there's other kids who are just quiet. And I was a quiet kid. And I always thought differently. Like I didn't always get everybody's joke because I always thought something else was funnier. I didn't watch everything. Still now, like I don't watch everything that people watch. I don't movies, TV shows. I don't think differently. I always think kind of abstract. And I think Amanda said the same thing. She says, I think differently. And I could totally understand that. So there's been times with my own self-esteem stuff where I feel like I got slighted by somebody, and it's like sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not. I think Amanda is good that she's in therapy. I still think she has a long way to go, but at least she's in therapy. She has to learn how to not take everything personal. Like my ex-girlfriend used to say that to me a lot. It's like, yeah, but you ain't being nice to me. I gotta take it personal. But I think in Amanda's case, she maybe does take things personal. However, in her defense, there's stories that she says that are true, and some that she got blamed for unfairly, and some she should get blamed for. Like, I feel like she still needs to owe Myron Rolle an apology. She said that dude harassed her. She kind of backtracked on that, but I think she owes that man an apology because he could have lost his medical license for the things that she said. However, I do believe the story when she got kicked out of that party, that Hollywood Black Party, by Issa Rae's publicist. I think Issa Rae and her publicist got a good cop, bad cop thing happening. And when she said her publicist told Amanda, I hate you, or I don't like you, that might be her talking for Issa. Because I think Issa's playing the good cop and is like, oh, well, no, like, I don't know why she does that. Like, I think there's some other stuff. So I believe her when she says that, and Amanda said, like, she tried to create some type of relationship with Issa, and it just wasn't clicking. Now, again, Amanda could be leaving stuff out, but I do believe her when she says that. Like, I think, because I've heard other stories about Issa and Insecure, and I'm a fan of the show, but it doesn't like Insecure wasn't this rosy, behind the scenes, all female led production. There feels like there's some stuff behind the scenes. However, where I won't defend Amanda is the part where she said that she has autism. Now, again, I'm not a doctor. Amanda could very well have autism, but she was self-diagnosed. Now, she's going by the fact that she thinks differently. She's autistic. She might not be. That's why it's important for her to get tested. In my previous life, I was a substitute teacher, and I taught in special ed classes. And there is a spectrum when it comes to kids with autism. There are kids who are so highly functioning, you start questioning, why are they here? And sometimes the assistant teacher will say, well, this is why they're here. They have this, you'll see it. They'll do certain things where you understand why they have to be in this class. And yep, they would be like, man, everything's going fine. And then they do a certain thing. It's like, oh, okay, I understand why they're here. I understand they're borderline where they could be in a regular classroom, but they're here for a reason. And there's other kids on the other end of the spectrum. They might not talk. They make sounds. They might not look you in the eye. They might be really good at one thing, but they have difficulties comprehending other things. So when you're saying that you're autistic, that is very dangerous, just because there's so many people who deals with this, kids dealing with this, and parents dealing with this. So the best thing Amanda could do is get herself tested. I'm sure, because she said it costs like $10,000. I'm sure there's a cheaper test someplace. If she finds out she's actually autistic, she could be a great spokesman for people to get tested. If she finds out that she's not autistic, she could say, you know what, my bad. I was wrong. I thought I had this. My brain just works differently. But the doctor says this is why you probably felt like you were autistic. But she could still be a spokesperson, because I think, especially when it comes to Black folks and autism, I think we need to talk about this more. So I think the thing about Amanda that she has a hard time doing is like saying, I'm sorry. The one thing that dudes do better than women is saying, like, my bad, I apologize. Guys are just a lot better than women doing this. And I think Amanda, even though she's in therapy, it sounds like she's trying to get better, she's still got a long way to go. And I think she also going to need to apologize to Shannon, because Shannon didn't have to put her on the show. And then even afterwards, Shannon still say how I like her. I think she's funny. I think she's talented. He still was praising her after she ripped him. So Amanda Seales, I feel like when things happen to Amanda, I think it's 60% her. I think sometimes she does get blamed for stuff that's not her fault. But moving forward, Amanda, if you got a guy like Shannon Sharpe, he actually likes you and puts you on the show and tries to support you, stop pushing away those people. Because you're going to push away so many people, you'll have no friends left.